right, everybody. Welcome to episode 51 of the Paddy and the Yank podcast. Woo! It is New Year's Eve over here in Taiwan. Wishing everybody a happy motherfucking New Year. Paddy, how you feeling?
Let's all meet up in the year 2000. Won't it be strange when we're all fully grown? When I think of the New Year, for some strange reason, I think of that Pulp song. I think it's called Disco 2000.
Pulp.
They were a British band, but I don't know.
The Pogues? The Pogues?
That was the Pogues, yeah.
The Pogues. I'm still confused from the last episode.
Yeah, the Pogues. You should check them out, hey.
I'm just going to stay confused.
Shane MacGowan from the Pogues could probably be described in a similar light to Hunter S. Thompson.
Really?
Well, one, Johnny Depp is like great friends with Shane MacGowan. Johnny Depp was great friends with Hunter S. Thompson. Johnny Depp. Why am I saying Johnny Depp said this? He considers Shane MacGowan from the Pogues to be one of the greatest poets that's ever lived.
Shane MacGowan from the Pogues.
Check him out. I think you'd be into him.
He wasn't friends with Hunter. He was friends with Johnny. Johnny was friends with Hunter.
He's still friends with Johnny Depp to this day, but his words are poetry. Like his words are absolute poetry.
Shane MacGowan.
Yeah, and also he's a madman. Not a man, but he had no teeth and he laughs like a pirate. So he's a character that I think you would fucking very much like.
I love people like that. And,
I know you do.
And followers and listeners, our very next episode will be about a person just like that. So stay tuned for the next episode.
I can't wait. And also, to anybody that's new to the podcast, we usually like to feature original music at the end of each episode. I don't think we had any at the last episode. Again, that was my bad. But today we are back on board, and we have a guy at the end of the podcast who's featured on the podcast, I think, 2 times before.
Woo!
He's an English singer-songwriter, and his name is Sam Hockaday. And this is his new single, so hang around to the end of the podcast and listen to Sam's new single that's out.
Sam Hockaday.
So, today, Yank, in the spirit of New Year's and all that, what I wanted to do is I wanted to just try and find out what were some mad things that happened in 2022, the year that's just gone by. What were some of the craziest things that happened? I don't know, around the world, in the news and stuff like that. So I went online and I found this fucking article. And that's basically what it said. Except this said 11 of the maddest things that happened
11?
in 2022. Yeah. That's
a bit excessive, isn't it?
Number. Yeah. Hey.
There's no way there was 11 crazy things in 2022.
Amps don't just go up to 11 in fucking, what's the name of that movie? Spinal Tap?
I don't know. I don't
11,
remember.
What a weird number. I don't know.
11?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I find like the 14 most haunted places or some shit like that.
Are you weird on like
numbers?
Even numbers and odd numbers?
You know what's funny is recently I've been having my students pay attention to the time because I got this friend from back home and she's obsessed with the order of numbers. And so
a lot of people are.
Like the magical numbers. So I told my kids, every time you see one, focus on what you're thinking at that exact moment. And now it's pretty funny. Every day, this one kid, he's like, teacher, fucking Teacher Yank. Teacher Yank. Yeah? It's 4:44. I'm like, oh, cool. Rocket.
Shit like that.
And then he's like, hey, yesterday he like said 4:44 and 5:55. And like these kids are like really paying attention to it.
Okay. What is that called? Because here's something.
Oh, shit.
Like
numerology.
I used to have this thing where the volume on anything, the volume on the TV, when I would turn up the volume on the TV, I would have to have it at an even number. I would never turn the volume up to 7. It's like, that's an uneven number. I would turn the volume up to 8.
Paddy, that's OCD. That's different.
But what you said there as well, like 111, like you look at your phone and the time says 111. It's like, it's 111. How did I look at my phone at exactly that time when these 3 digits would match up? Like, the people have crazy things like, oh, it's 444, like you just said earlier. What is that called?
I think in the U.S., usually people say make a wish.
Yeah.
Right? Other people don't say much in Asia, but a lot of people ascribe different angels and different things to different numbers. And they do have...
you said in America, yeah?
Yeah,
there's
like a that
figures. It couldn't have any mythological stuff. It's like angels are connected to numbers in it.
It's related to like astrology and your horoscope.
Okay.
The study of mystical relationships between numbers, letters, and patterns. That is what numerology is. So you're looking for like patterns in numbers. And like different, I saw like the number 7. I remember I messaged her, my friend.
Yeah.
I was like, what's 7 mean? Because I kept everywhere it was like 7, 7, 7, 7. Like I had 7 NT in my pocket. I had $7,000 for spending cash. 7. I asked her what the symbolism was of number 7, but it sounded pretty arbitrary.
Right.
Like it could have been applied to anything. Have you noticed any changes recently?
Yeah, the number 7 keeps...
Did you realize something was missing from your life? There's always something
yes,
missing
3
from
fingers,
my life.
I only now have 7 left. They got chopped off.
So I was
you don't really have any synergy or connection to like numbers. Like for me, like I said again, it was like I would normally always have chosen an even number over an odd number. Like pick numbers for the lotto. I would have probably picked all even numbers.
I don't play the lotto. I'm very against it.
I'm giving you an example.
Gambling.
I'm giving you an example. Like something like that. Like I would be always, like I said, turn down the volume on the TV. I won't turn the volume down to 7 or 13 or 11. It's like I'll turn it down to 10. It's a good round even number. 10. 12. Good round solid even number. I feel safe and secure in those numbers.
That's called OCD.
Really?
Yes, for sure. That's like walking down the sidewalk and trying not to step on the cracks. You ever do that?
There you go.
See, you're OCD.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Yank. I'll give you your medicine before you go home, sir. Thank you for coming.
I think you already gave me my medicine before we fucking started this damn podcast.
You're right. Are you sanitized?
I'm sanitized, motherfucker.
Awesome. We are sanitized. All right.
You should be sanitized too.
I got my kids watching for the numbers, right? And one thing I think is cool is it's kind of like a mindfulness practice. When I was in college, my professor made us all get moon journals, and we had to look at the moon every night and sketch a picture of the moon. And then, write about whatever was going on, I think, at that time. But either way, we had to pay attention to the moon every night. The cool thing is, it was like a mindfulness practice. And you just start paying attention to the moon and the small changes of the moon. And that's kind of like a form of meditation, being so mindful of something. And also something that led our ancestors. I mean, our ancestors, the only thing they had for navigation, and the only thing they had that was even a slight symbol of God or gods were the stars and the moon. And so I think it's something we have forgotten to pay attention to the moon and the stars. So I thank my professor for creating that exercise. And I did that same exercise with these kids, and now I'm doing it with numbers too.
Your professor was definitely a hippie and liked mushrooms.
You think so? She seemed really straight-edged and Christian, man.
Oh, really?
She was a swim instructor, and she seemed really straight-edge.
Yeah.
And she was not very loose, but she was cool.
I call swim instructors no drown.
Oh, no, I know where this is going. Jesus Christ.
How not to drown instructors is what I call them. A swim instructor. You could also be like, we're hiring today. What are you hiring for? How not to drown instructors. You mean swim instructors? Well, it's the same thing.
I thought you were going to take it a sexual way.
No. A how not to drown instructor.
Take me under, baby.
I might start my own company where I put how not to drown instructors through their paces, how you would learn to become a lifeguard. But the opposite. What's the opposite of a lifeguard?
A drownder?
No, like a lifeguard. I don't know. Anyways,
if you're not trying to save people, you're trying to kill people, right? So wouldn't a serial killer be the opposite of a lifeguard?
No, just because you're not trying to save somebody doesn't mean you're trying to kill them.
But lifeguard, you're guarding their life.
Somebody could be just about to get shot in the head, and you could see it and be like, if I intervene, I'm going to get shot and killed too. So you just don't intervene. You're not killing them. You're just not intervening.
A non-intervener isn't the opposite of a lifeguard, because a lifeguard or a bodyguard, you are guarding the life. You are guarding something. You're keeping it safe.
Okay.
So the opposite of keeping it safe would be making it dangerous.
Yeah, but not killing it.
Not helping would be encouraging danger.
The person could die, but you're not killing it
yourself. If I see a car outside and it's racing at you and you're
not
paying, you're on your phone,
so
you're not paying attention. I could pull you off the road, or I could just watch you get smashed and killed by the truck.
But you're not killing the person.
I'm not helping either.
No, you're not.
So
you're not helping one goddamn bit by the sounds of it.
I'm encouraging danger.
All right. Anyways, enough of that rambling. Time to move on. So it's New Year's Eve. So I thought, what did I just say? I'm going to look back and see some mad stories or things that happened in 2022. These aren't I don't think these are news stories like Russia invaded Ukraine or anything like that.
I hope not. That's what I was expecting.
No,
everybody already knows that shit.
Hey, come on. You know me. You think I'm going to fucking bring something like that up?
I would hope. I have high standards.
I don't go for the obvious. But this first story does involve Russia.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's not what you think. It ain't what you're thinking, Yank.
Russian cannibals.
Polar bears on the Russian island of Kalyuchin.
Sounds like a Street Fighter.
Yeah, Kalyuchin. They started taking over abandoned buildings. This is gang of polar bears. In August 2021, Russian wildlife photographer Dmitry Kok, I don't know if that's how you spell his name, Kokh, Kok?
Wait, 2021? Kok? I thought we were talking about 2022.
It gets to that. Have some patience, my man. You tell me you meditate all the time. Meditate on this shit. All right, here we go. So in August 2021, Russian wildlife photographer Dmitry Koch began. I'm sorry, Dmitry. I'm trying to pronounce your last name.
Go on about Mr. Koch.
You want me to do that again and try to? No, try not to laugh. Right? I'll try not to laugh as well. That was difficult. I'm keeping all these in. In August 2021, Russian wildlife photographer Dmitry Koch began a 1,200-mile journey across the sea to photograph polar bears in their natural habitat. Right? However, a storm forced his ship to anchor near the island of Kalyuchin partway through the trip. Fortunately for Koch, Kalyuchin had been taken over by polar bears.
Kalyuchin was a boat?
Kalyuchin was this like island he ended up having to go on because his fucking boat, I think, broke down.
That's crazy.
And the creatures had moved into the crumbling buildings of a former Arctic weather station. The island was abandoned in 1992, but this year a group of around 20 polar bears decided to make the empty buildings their home.
Oh my.
So they just went in and was like, hey, we got these fucking 20 houses here, let's just live in here.
That's awesome.
It's fucking unreal.
It's a squat house, right?
Yeah.
Squatter house.
Polar bears are inherently curious, often investigating unlocked doors and windows. These polar bears sound unreal, yeah. And due to generations of human hunting practices, you sons of bitches,
you sons of bitches,
they are inclined to seek shelter when it is available to them. These natural instincts are likely part of the reason the bears moved into the former weather station. Koch captured photos of the polar bears using a remote-controlled camera drone along with noise propellers.
Polar bears were using a remote-controlled drone? Read that sentence again. Read the whole sentence.
Koch captured photos of the polar bears using a...
Sorry.
The way I read it, it sounded like the polar bears were using these fucking things.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
He captured the polar bears with the drone.
Yeah.
That's cool. My linguistics professor used to teach me about different sentences and how some sentences can be read two ways. Like never threaten a woman with a knife.
That's crazy.
Right? That sentence, you can take it two ways.
That's fucking crazy. I just done that there by complete fucking...
Yeah, do it again. Do it again.
And now I'm going to try to read it like... Okay, so Koch captured photos of the polar bears using a remote-controlled camera.
Yeah, totally. That's one of those ones that can go two ways.
That's mad. That's insane. You could only...
It's linguistics.
That's fucking zanitization, my man.
Zanitization.
All right, so he was picturing them, videoing them from a distance because he didn't really want to disturb them. And he's... Koch's own words were, I'll try and do a Russian accent. Nature is not always sending you something when you least expect it, Koch said. We saw them sometimes doing movements in the windows, and when we got close, those bears were gone. Never before they were seen in those buildings, so that was a once-in-a-lifetime situation. There you go.
You sound like Dracula at the end.
The Count?
Yes.
So really, that's the first story I had, that in Russia...
That's a good story, actually.
Polar bears are...
I'm impressed.
Fucking squatting in abandoned buildings. So, watch out. All right, next one.
Imagine if...
Go on.
What was that one dude that stayed with the grizzly bears? Imagine if somebody did it. Polar bears are even more dangerous,
Timothy
right?
Treadwell.
Yeah.
Man,
polar bears are more dangerous, right?
Fuck you up.
Aren't they the most dangerous bear?
Like
the biggest.
11 foot tall.
That's right, they're the biggest bear.
11 foot tall. That's insane. Think about it. Tyson Fury is like almost 7 foot. He's like a monster of a human. That polar bear is what? 4 foot taller than that? I measured before. I'd have to stand on a step ladder to be able to punch Tyson Fury in the fucking face.
Wow.
Or I'd have to jump. I can't remember which it was.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's a big motherfucker. All right, next story. A new study revealed that mushrooms, our last podcast talked about the Amanita muscaria. Yeah. Mushrooms communicate with each other using a 50-word vocabulary. Okay, when I first read this, I was like...
Bullshit.
50-word, like words? Like, aren't words... Like, can they write these words down? Aren't words something unique to humans? So, let's see what they say. Mushrooms are still amongst the most mysterious and strange organisms on the planet. And for most of history, they were largely misunderstood. In fact, the term mycology, whatever the fuck, wasn't coined until the 1830s, and even then the true nature of fungi didn't start to come to light until the advent of modern biochemistry. Whatever. Where's the fucking shit about the mushrooms talking to each other in 50 languages? Alright, assuming that spikes of electrical activity are used by fungi to communicate, we demonstrate that distributions of fungal word lengths match that of human languages. said the study's lead author, Andrew Adamatsky. We found that the size of fungal vocabulary can be up to 50 words. However, the core vocabulary of most frequently used words does not exceed... Fuck this one. Fuck this one. Fuck this one.
Fuck it.
They said that the fucking mushrooms were going to be talking to each other in 50 different words, and they didn't produce that within the first 10 seconds of me reading it, so my modern day mind is not into it. Okay.
Well, you inspired me to get another topic for another podcast.
Okay, cool. Okay, this next one says, Guinness crowned the world's tallest domesticated cat, an 18-inch savanna cat named Fenrir. It's funny, we were just talking about height and size there.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. William Powers of Farmington Hills, Michigan, is no stranger to world record-holding felines. And this year, Guinness World Records awarded his 18-inch cat, Savannah, the title of the world's tallest domesticated cat. What?
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Powers described his award winner as a monster. That's not very nice. She has feelings too, I'm sure. You call yourself a doctor. Adding, he's a really good boy. You can hold him like a baby. Okay, this second story sounds like it fucking sucks too, so I'm just going to skip that one as well. So no cat story and no fucking mushroom story. Moving on. An Indian couple sued their son and daughter-in-law for $463,000 because they wouldn't have a child. All right, now we're getting juicy. Now we're getting juicy. We're getting into the insanity of humans. Numerous psychology books have been written about the relationships between parents and children, including the expectations parents put on their kids. Taiwan, South Korea, naming no names. I just named names. Moving on. But an Indian couple took this one step further when their son and his wife didn't give them the grandchild they wanted after 6 years of marriage by suing them for $463,000 on the grounds of mental harassment.
Whoa.
What?
What a charge.
The fuck? Sanjeev and Sadhana Prasad argued that they spent $270,000 to raise their son. They added up how much it cost them to raise their child. Imagine your mother told you at 18, she's like, all right, you owe me $257,000. What?
Oh my.
That's how much it cost me to raise you, motherfucker. You better pay up, and you've got about 10 years to do it.
Oh my.
So they argued that on the grounds
of a great investment.
Money spent to raise their son. So Shri said they paid for his pilot training in the US, arranged his marriage, and financed the wedding in the hopes that Sagar and his wife would have a child shortly after. That's crazy. My son has been married for 6 years, but they are still not planning a baby, Mr. Prasad said. He and his wife had hoped they would have a grandchild to play with during retirement, but that plan hadn't come to fruition.
Now we're suing your ass.
So hey, this guy's mother and father got married, and they're like, they made this agreement with themselves when they got married. It's like, right, we'll have a son or a daughter, then they're gonna have a grandchild, and then when they have that grandchild, that'll be someone for us to play with when we get old. Are you cool with that? And then they're like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Right, let's get married. Right, how are we gonna make him have a kid? Well, we'll pay for his pilot's license. We'll pay for his marriage. We'll pay for all these things so that it's like we're fun. And then they added it all up, they literally added up what they'd paid for.
So what did they want?
They wanted a grandchild.
Oh, I thought they wanted money.
No, they
wanted the grandchild. They're mad they didn't get the grandchild, so they said, if you're not going to give us a grandchild, we want money.
They're going to sue him.
We want our money back.
We're suing you.
We
want our money back for raising you.
Yeah, because you didn't hold up your end of the deal.
You didn't produce what we wanted you to produce. So yeah, he's been married 6 years. The main issue is at that this age we need a grandchild. But these people have an attitude. They're like, look, here's what's going on. We need a fucking grandchild over here.
We thought we said it clearly. I don't think you guys understand.
They've obviously never heard of adoption either. But anyways, the main issue here is that we need a grandchild.
Shut up!
But these people have an attitude that they don't think about us, Prasad said. Indian culture ingrains a sense of family obligation at an early age, including a responsibility to carry on the bloodline and take care of the elderly.
Asia too.
Man,
you said that earlier, right?
Yeah, I said
Taiwan. It's very
South
normal
Korea.
to be 30 or 40 and still live with your parents.
Yeah, and be looking after them and and they expect a lot of things from you still at them ages.
It. Yeah, it's kind of a hard thing. That's a risk of marrying a Taiwanese girl.
Yeah.
As you might have to take care of her parents, or her parents will move in with you.
Yeah, there's a fucking hierarchy.
That's fucking normal.
Yeah.
People in the U.S. would be like, no, go to fucking retirement home.
Step off my lawn, motherfucker. So in fact, one law even lets parents claim a monthly allowance from their adult children if they so choose. In other words, Prasad's complaints seem unreasonable from a Western perspective, but by the stem, but they stem from a core component of Indian culture. That's pretty fucking. I wonder if they got their settlement.
I hope they didn't, dirty bastards. You don't need a fucking grandchild.
That's crazy. All right, moving on. That one was
I don't know why so many people
interesting.
are trying to pump out children.
There's
a lot here already.
Like we need more humans in the world.
A lot here already.
Like
and
we
there's
need more
orphanages
fucking
overflowing with children needing homes.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know some
Good
people
point.
want to pass on the bloodline, but man, there's a lot of kids here that already need help, and there's already a lot of people here, and not a lot of them are doing a lot of good.
Yeah. So
sorry for being dark, but that's my opinion.
What he's saying is adopt.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I think adoption. I've always been pro adoption. I'm still pro adoption.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna have a kid, just like an animal, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't go pay for $60,000 for a bred pit bull, even though I want to. I should go adopt a dingo from the fucking.
Dingoes are wild dogs in Australia.
I should go adopt. I should go kidnap a wolf.
Adopt a dingo pack.
Kidnap a wolf and feed it dingoes.
All right, moving on. This next one also is an Indian story from India. Strangely, huh? Did somebody from India write this article? Right. A wild elephant trampled an Indian woman to death. Then he attacked her corpse at her funeral.
What?
Elephants don't forget.
Get the fuck out of
here. They say
here.
Elephants have one of the best memories.
Say it again. Say it again.
A wild elephant trampled an Indian woman to death and then went to her funeral and attacked her corpse at her funeral.
Okay, well, the only question is, what did she do to the elephant?
Let's fucking find out.
She probably killed the elephant's baby.
All right. One day while drawing water in Odisha's Mayurbhangi district, again, why am I getting all these articles with hard names to pronounce? A place in India. A 70-year-old Maya Murmu's life was cut. I guess that's her name. Maya Murmu.
Just call her cock.
She's 70-year-old Yank. 70-year-old Maya Murmu's life was cut short by a wild elephant that appeared suddenly and trampled the old woman.
Bullshit.
Murmu unfortunately succumbed to her injuries in the hospital, and her grieving family began to prepare for a funeral. It's unclear how many people were invited to the funeral. Like that matters.
Damn it! I wish I knew how many people got invited.
Like they added that in there. We don't know if she was liked by a little few people or she was liked a lot. So we'll just completely keep this PR and fucking say we're unclear about how many people arrived at her funeral, how popular she was. But there was certainly one uninvited guest. Oh, they set us up there. I see.
Oh, we fell for it hard.
Okay, but there was certainly one uninvited guest. The very same elephant that had killed her. He's like, what? He's like turning up her at her funeral going, I'm making sure she's dead.
Double tap, bitch.
Yeah, fuck. So with a large herd in tow, he came with fucking cronies.
No
he came
way.
With a gang.
He brought his boys. Boys, I need to go fuck this bitch up.
That's crazy. So with a large herd in tow, the elephant rampaged her fucking funeral.
Like the elephant NWA.
This is crazy. So knocking her from the funeral pyre, trampling her body for a second time, then tossing it away and running off. What?
Show up, fucking wreck the place, and then dip out.
What?
It's like a drive-by.
Okay, I know this is a sad event, and I'm very sorry for this woman
I'm sorry
and everything
too.
like that, but the elephant killed her, then came to her funeral with a load of his fucking friends, burst through the doors, fucked shit up, knocked her off the funeral pyre, trampled on her body again, and then ran like fuck and was like, get out of here, let's go.
Dude, it's like Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and like all of NWA in a car doing a drive-by and then rolling out.
That is crazy.
That is pretty wild.
So Murmu's family was eventually able to gather up the woman's dead body and get on with the ceremony.
Oh shit! Did the elephants rip her to pieces?
They trampled on her again, the same elephant.
Oh man, imagine that your loved one dies, and then you have to watch her get trampled by elephants.
Crazy.
You'd be traumatized for life.
It's insane.
Traumatized for life.
But the strange and tragic event left many people in a state of shock.
Obviously.
They said, we were terrified after witnessing the elephant herd on Thursday evening.
I hope the doctor sanitized them.
One attendee said, they must have been sanitized after that. They'd have to have been. We have never had such a ferocious elephant bunch. They're like, we've had ferocious elephant bunches in the past, but we've never had such a...
This bunch has gone beyond.
Yeah, we've never had such a ferocious elephant bunch as this bunch. Like, that's a normal thing in India. It's like, yeah, there's ferocious elephant bunches that come in and fuck shit up sometimes, but you ain't never seen an elephant bunch like this bunch.
They even have an app, so you can watch where the bunches are.
Oh, man, look.
Bunch tracker.
These elephant went on a fucking rampage after this. The elephants also damaged a number of houses in the area, but no one was ever able to ascertain why exactly that one elephant
Bullshit
had it out for Maya Murmu.
Or it could have been like a past life misdoing, you know?
That's crazy.
Maybe that woman in her past life was a fucking
elephant is
evil
still at large.
tiger that ate that elephant's
Well, they
children.
say when you see elephants in the circle in the circus.
When you see elephants standing in a circle, it means they're up
a lot
to
of
something.
times elephants that are in circuses. Elephants that are in circuses. They often break free and attack the person that was keeping them captive.
But this wasn't. This was a wild elephant, though, right?
Yeah, these were wild elephants.
Yeah.
They say elephants have great memories and they don't forget. So a lot of elephants that were kept in captivity in circuses and stuff like that. Fuck circuses, by the way, that hold animals and get them to do shit like ride bikes and
I've
that.
never met an
Fuck
elephant.
you guys.
I would like to.
Fuck them
Have you
circuses.
ever met an elephant?
I've seen a few elephants in Thailand. I
I've
didn't
never
ride
gotten to,
them or do anything with them.
Meet one. Look into one's eyes. Like
I did. I looked in its eyes and shit. I didn't.
Did you touch it?
No, I didn't touch it. No.
Oh, I'd like to kind of pet it. You know.
I mean, if it was ethical and it was in a sanctuary or something like that, or in the wild, cool.
Right. But like, I feel like they like.
There was people riding these fucking
what are the
elephants, man,
smartest?
and I was just looking at them.
I know, and I know most of it's like very, very wrong.
Was
but
at
like,
a temple somewhere.
But like, what are the smartest animals in the world? Dolphins, elephants, and what else? Monkeys, maybe.
Yeah. Like I said
right?
to you
Are those
there.
three?
Yeah.
What are the smartest animals in the world?
Yeah, there'd be dolphins, elephants, and probably some kind of primate.
Some kind of primate.
Yeah.
So all those animals have memories and they don't forget and they have a strong connection to their family members.
Yes.
And they
elephants
have
mourn their dead. Elephants mourn their dead.
Do they? I was about to say they have funerals, but I was making a joke. But they do mourn the dead.
That makes it even more crazier, like, that elephant went in there and was like, I'm not going to let you motherfuckers mourn this death. I'm fucking it up, so...
So clearly something happened because
possibly
I don't think she should have taken that personal.
That elephant was personal with that woman.
But she shouldn't take it personal.
She's dead. But
clearly there was something going on. There was something going on. It's not like the elephant just had a bad day. Like
we're breaking the story open. Like her and the elephant had this big history. They were married for 5 years, and then she caught him cheating on him. They had 2 kids, and he never played child support. Or there was like this big thing, and like
what was that one movie, Falling Down, where what's his name?
Bum Chin. He's got the bump. He's got the ass in his chin.
Kirk
Douglas.
Yeah, Michael Douglas. And he just has a bad fucking day, and everything goes awry, and he flips out. Right. That's like this elephant could have been like Michael Douglas falling down.
Well, he would have done it twice.
He just had enough.
He killed her the first time, and then he went back.
He had enough, man.
Funeral. That's crazy.
That'd be a good movie, like the story of this elephant, like what the events were that led up to the murder, and then the trampling of the deceased.
Yeah.
And then what happened afterwards, right? Where did this elephant wasn't killed or hunted, right?
He's still at large. He's still
out
there with his gang.
large.
He's got
like Ned Kelly.
Oh, I'm going to talk
Ned
about
Kelly
Ned
died,
Kelly
right?
someday.
Yeah, he got killed.
Silence.
I don't know.
We'll talk about
that. I never finished the fucking movie.
Okay, 2 podcasts in, I will do a Ned Kelly episode.
Elephants, chimpanzees, dolphins, and pigs are the smartest animals in the world.
There you go.
I did not know that about pigs. Maybe I did, but I forgot.
Huh.
Octopus also. And crows.
Yeah, crows. Crows also remember people's faces.
Really?
Yeah, they remember people's faces. And if you fuck with a crow, you could be walking down the street one day, and that same crow that you fucked with a week before will remember your face. And if you pass underneath that same crow, that motherfucker might attack you.
Really?
He remembered that. That's the son of a bitch that was doing some shit to me. That's on record.
Dude, when I stayed in India, there were bunches of crows everywhere.
Yeah.
They would wake me up every morning. So crows can remember your face? Is that why that must be why they use them in movies so often, because crows are actually smart, and if they want to gang up in a mob and attack somebody, what was that movie? With the crows that attacked somebody. Well, I know The Crow with Brandon Lee.
Yeah, The Crow with Brandon Lee, but that's
fantastic.
You're thinking of maybe The Birds.
Birds.
Hitchcock's The Birds, but I don't know if
crows and the birds.
Well, I think it was in black and white, so I wouldn't know if it was a fucking crow or what. But I think it was crows.
By the size you would. And also pigeons, which makes sense, right? Because people flip pigeons.
Yeah.
I haven't heard there's a pigeon flipper in Taiwan.
Yeah, there's a pigeon flyer right beside my girlfriend's house.
Pigeon flipper.
It's gonna take something good to beat that last story about the woman getting trampled on by the elephant. Not that was a good story. I mean, you know what I mean? like we feel sorry for her again, everything like that. All right, let's get it.
I feel bad for the people that had to watch her get trampled.
And if it's a shit one, I'm going to skip it again, just like the couple of shit ones we had before. Sorry, whoever wrote this.
It's happened to me before. I've done it before. I've read shit.
Let's get it.
I ate shit.
Okay, this one already sounds good. The Cambodian government had to beg people to stop picking ultra-rare penis plants. What?
What is an ultra-rare penis plant? I want one.
A Nepenthes bacchorinus is a pitcher plant species endemic in Cambodia. It's colloquially. Why the fuck are they giving me hard?
Colloquially.
Why are they giving me hard words to say here when I'm sanitized? Not sanitized. Sorry, I'm very sanitized at the moment. All right, it's colloquially known as a penis plant, or alarmingly, a penis flytrap. I've heard of a Venus flytrap, but a penis flytrap?
I don't know if I believe this.
They are critically endangered, but they also apparently make nice bouquets. Well, get yourself a penis plant bouquet for Christmas.
I could have got this for my girlfriend for Christmas.
These phallic blooms are so popular for tourist selfies, in fact, that the Cambodian Ministry of Environment published a plea on Facebook asking people to stop picking the plants for photos. What they are doing is wrong, and please don't do it again in the future. That was a pretty... What you're doing is wrong. Please don't do that again in the future. It was pretty
I really want to see what this looks like. Does it look like a penis?
We'll put a picture up later of it, what it looks like. I'll show you a picture of it. Here. Okay, if it looks like a penis, it looks like a very strange penis.
Jewish.
Moving on. Yeah, so he said what you're doing is wrong, and don't do it again in the future.
Damn, that was pretty harsh.
Thank you for loving natural resources, but don't harvest so it goes to the waste. All right,
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, Cambodians.
So, this type of plant lives in low nutrient soil and relies heavily on its pitcher to draw in prey, which it then drowns with its digestive fluids, giving the plant the nutrients it needs to survive. Nice. I had a Venus flytrap in Canada. Long story short, I was looking after this plant for ages. It was catching flies. They're a class plant. And I went on a little short vacation for a week, and there was a load of girls working in the hostel, and I said to them, if they're listening now, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. I said, can you do me one favour when I'm gone? They're like, what? You know that plant I've been looking after for the last fucking year and a half? That means everything to me. Can you please just look after it and water it for me? There's like, can you just do that? Yeah, of course. Sure, no problem. I came back from my fucking trip, and the fucking plant was dead. They forgot about it instantly.
If you want something done right, you have to ask a man.
I thought you were PC, Yank.
What's PC?
It's politically correct.
Oh, I didn't know there was a new word for politically correct. You're more politically correct than me, PC.
Anyways, yeah, they let my plant die, and I still remember that. So anyways, tourists who pluck the pictures inadvertently weaken the plant, which has already suffered severe damage to its natural habitat due to private construction, farming, and the tourism industry.
Oh, no.
Damn it. If people are interested, even in a funny way, to pose and make selfies with the plants, it's fine, said Francois May, a botanical illustrator. Just do not pick the pictures because it weakens the plant, because the plant needs these pictures to feed. So anybody that's out there penis plant picking, just remember when you pick the plant of that penis, you could end up killing the whole plant.
We need a selfie serial killer.
All right, moving on. That wasn't a bad one. Okay, this one's I don't even know. A Harvard scientist said he believes a meteor at the bottom of the South Pacific houses alien technology. All right, we just talked about aliens recently on the podcast. Let's see what this guy's going to say. Back in 2014, a small meteor dubbed Xenios broke through Earth's atmosphere and fell into the South Pacific Ocean, where it now rests at the sea floor in countless tiny pieces. That's pretty interesting. But a Harvard professor, his name is Avi Loeb, believes that among those, none of these people yet has been called John or something simple. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so clearly when we make up stories, we need to start using more complex names.
Yes, for sure.
No more Johnny.
no more Johnny or Timmy or
Taniqua.
Believes that among those small fragments, there may be a piece of extraterrestrial technology. And he's determined to find it.
I don't believe it. After all the shit we've done and been through, I don't believe in him anymore. I think
let's see why he thinks that. Well, let's see why he thinks that would be the case, because I don't know why he thinks that at the moment. The ideal scenario is that in addition to tiny fragments, we would find a piece of an advanced technological device. Like the 100th version of the iPhone, Loeb said. Okay, I don't know if Loeb's fucking...
Oh, so he's assuming that this would be a future version of ourselves, and it's us coming back in time. That's the only way I would believe in aliens, is if it were a future version of ourselves.
So what he's saying is, right, a meteorite did crash into the ocean back in 2014 or whatever it was, and it's now sitting on the bottom of the seabed.
Okay.
And it's in different fragments.
Okay.
And for some reason, this professor believes that these fragments hold advanced technology.
But he's got no reason.
I want to find his reason out. That's what I mean. What the fuck is his reason? This is what he's saying. He's saying, I would love to press a button on such an object. How does he even know it has a button? Loeb first theorized that the small... Oh, here we go. Loeb first theorized that the small 2-foot meteorite originated outside our solar system, based on its speed and how much it burned upon entering the Earth's atmosphere. A theory that was confirmed in 2022 by U.S. Space Command.
Oh, shit.
Okay, hang on a second.
They confirmed what exactly? That it was...
Okay, so
from outside of our solar system.
Okay, so Loeb first theorized that the small. Now we're taking Loeb seriously.
Yeah, let me sit up straight.
Okay, all right. Now, once we're
drink
getting into this, Loeb might have some fucking grounds to his fucking argument here. Loeb first theorized that the small 2-foot meteor originated outside our solar system, based on its speed and how much it burned upon entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a theory that was actually confirmed by the U.S. Space Command in 2022. Okay, so Loeb then launched a 1.5 million privately funded expedition. Loeb sounds like he's got some dough.
No
hey,
shit.
Loeb, give us some of that
Works for
dough.
Harvard, right?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. He privately funded the expedition to search for fragments from the meteor, and he even believes he can narrow down his search area to about 40 square miles. So they haven't even found this meteor.
They haven't found it yet.
So there is also the possibility that it will be made of some alloy that nature doesn't put together, and that would imply the object is technological, Loeb said. If you ask what my wish is, if it's indeed of artificial origin and there was some component of the object that survived, and if it has any buttons on it, I would love to press them.
Imagine this. Imagine like enough spaceships and broken, like all the technology we send to space. How much of it have we lost? We've lost a lot of it. Imagine if all that technology, a lot of it, all gravitated to one place in space, or one rock, or one meteor, or one planet, and all that technology together started assembling itself through forms of AI, because most of our technology does have that, and started creating its own little purely AI technological society
on our planet,
and on some other planet. Yeah, and so this whole planet came into existence that consists of nothing but technology and AI that we lost in space. And it became so self-autonomous that it started like creating ships that started flying, and one of those crashed back into Earth, and it's actually just our own trash that built itself.
That's pretty mad, and I'm extremely baked. I was like listening to here, I was like, what the fuck? Shit, I'm sorry.
When I think about the future, I always think about technological trash.
Yeah,
I always think about that. I think because there was a movie a long time ago.
I was going to say
where there's trash everywhere, right?
Yeah, in space.
And so when I think about the future, I always think there's just going to be technology trash everywhere.
So you think that this
like this Xiaomi watch I'm wearing right now, like one day in the future, this is just going to be junk.
Yeah.
Like 5 years from now, probably this will be junk compared to the technology.
Not even 5 years.
Not even 5 years. Yeah. The AR that's in taxis already is fucking crazy.
We live in a really crazy time right now with technology.
A lot of the Neuralink's coming out like next year. This next year, Neuralink's coming out. Really? And AR is taking over in a really big way, I believe. They're using it in fighter jets for practice and training, and taxis. Yeah. Some taxis already have a smaller form of it, but it's about to get much more advanced in the metaverse.
Well, think about it when we were younger, growing up in the 90s, and it's like we had TV, we had VHS, we had tape cassettes with Walkmans and shit, and just think about what we have right now. Just look around the room. Look around your room right now. Anybody that's listening, just do me a favor. Even if you're outside in a cafe, even if you're anywhere like that, just take a look around for a second and look at how much technology is around you. Compared to when you were growing up as a kid. If you're fucking 15 and you're listening to this, it doesn't fucking mean anything to you.
They're talking like in the next 50 years, they will create smart fabric, smart clothing that can actually help strengthen you when you're during an injury. You have an injury, you can wear smart fabric that can also provide assistance and help you lift more than you usually can. And also
superhumans. And
also tattoos that you can scroll and shit and use to like turn on the lights or like open the doors like that. This is like if
I'm excited to see the future.
It can be done, and I am confident it will be done because of the shit that's already been done. Neuralink chips are going in very fucking soon. So as soon as that's done, that will start advancing, and other new things will start developing, like DARPA. DARPA studies, they say, what are we going to be using in 15 years? Whatever that is, we start working on that now. They're not the only district, company, area that is doing that. Everybody, Silicon Valley, what are we going to be using in 15 years? Whatever that is, we need to start working on it now.
Well, like I said again, just look around you compared to if we were sitting in this room in the 90s.
Yeah.
What would we have around us? How much energy would we be using? Like, if you're sitting at home in your living room, probably the best place to look. You've probably got a TV. You've probably got a fucking speaker system. You've probably got multiple mobile phones in that room. You've probably got a laptop, who knows, a computer, light, switch, everything like this, a cooker, an oven, everything, a microwave, who the fuck knows? Think about how much energy is being consumed in just one fucking house, or how many devices there are, electrical devices there are, that you just wouldn't have had back in the day. We're becoming so intertwined with it that you just don't take any notice of it, unless you sit down for a moment, like I just said, and have a quick look around your room.
On that note, Paddy, let me share a little quote with you real quick.
Go on.
Our soundbite society, this new society that we're talking about right now, this is a quote from a book. It's speeding up reality to such an extent that stopping and smelling the roses seems archaic, like some sentimental activity from an earlier era. In an era of fast companies, it is like we have forgotten how to slow down and how to reflect. We're more likely to stop and use our cell phone or check our email. Time is getting away from us, and so is meaning. And like time, we notice meaning when there isn't much left.
Mic drop.
That seemed very relevant to what we were talking about. I wanted to pull it out really quick.
That was cool. That's a very fitting quote.
Yeah, right? I couldn't pass up that opportunity.
Where I got that thought from before was I was talking about like like the signals that are flying around now everywhere, from your phone to like where's the signal coming from, Wi-Fi, whatever like that. What do they call these things? Not radiation, radio, whatever. Radiation waves or wherever the fuck
radio
it is.
Waves.
Like, well, you go into a fucking MRT or a train station here. You get on tram. Yeah. Think about all the people that are around you that have got this device in their hand that's shooting, like it's got to be getting.
Oh, the Bluetooth.
Well, whatever the fuck it is, Wi-Fi and that, like the signals that are coming in everywhere, like, are they doing something to your body and to your brain, like, that we don't know about yet? So I was talking to somebody about this before. Like, people get a chip and they put it on the back of their phone. It's like this.
A lot of people talk about if Bluetooth is bad for your brain. Like,
this is a radioactive blocker or whatever the hell you call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's a word for it. I can't fucking think of it right now.
Radiation.
No, maybe it is that. Yeah. And this guy I was talking to from Australia, and he just said, he said, "Do me a favor," and I was like, "What?" He said, "Look." I was talking to him on the phone. He goes, "Look around your room right now." He goes, "You'll be shocked by all the devices that were in it." And I looked around and I was like, holy shit. So that's what made me think about that earlier. All right, moving on. I might only give 5 of these stories today because I think we're getting on with time here.
Hold on.
What?
Damn it. We were on to something I wanted to talk a little bit more about. Give me 1 second to try to remember what it was, and then you can move forward. Oh, cool. Another thing in the future that's planned before the year 3000 is this. Well, we have the smartwatch and the phone and all this, and actually, like, all these devices are constantly attaining information about us until eventually, like, autonomous systems will know exactly what we do.
Of course.
Our heartbeat. I mean, I track everything, right? But at the same time that I track everything, something else is tracking the everything that I'm also tracking, right? Which is all being uploaded into a digital system until eventually one day it'll be very, very easy to have a digital avatar version of myself. Very, very fucking easy. And if the computer wanted to steal my identity, it could totally do it and send it around different internet systems.
This is Terminator shit.
Traveling around, and then maybe eventually create a robot and put me into the robot. Sure. And so one thing they talk about doing in the future is that you will be able to stream dreams. You'll be able to buy and stream dreams and even do it with someone.
What?
Imagine laying in bed with your girlfriend and you guys being like, I want to stream this dream with you, baby. We're in Hawaii on the beach.
You're so sweet and romantic. I would never think that.
Imagine that. Dude, you've had an orgasm while I was sleeping before, right? A wet dream?
All right.
It's amazing. I don't know why. It's subconscious, right? So it's almost more real than the real thing.
Yeah.
So imagine doing what I was just saying, stream dreaming with your girlfriend on a beach and having an orgasm and sex that way, semi-consciously. That would be like an orgasm.
I'm sure you'd probably stream dream with a different girl, though. You'd be like, well, I have this really
what
here.
What if you stream a threesome?
Whatever you want. You're like, you got this technology where you can stream dreams, like, and the person beside you doesn't know what the fuck you're dreaming about, but you just decide to stream dream about the person beside you. I'd be like, what was the name of that? What was the name of that Hollywood actor?
So you guys each just stream a dream with somebody else, and you cheat on each other. Would that be cheating?
You're dreaming. It ain't.
It's dreaming, baby. It ain't cheating.
It's cheat dreaming. It's dream cheating.
I read this book called.
He dream cheated on me. That's a phrase. That's going to be a phrase.
That'll be a phrase of the
30
future.
30 years time.
He dream cheated.
Yeah.
He deceived me. I got DC'd again.
He dream cheated
Paddy,
on
I got
me.
DC'd again, man. That's all these bitches do. They constantly, everyone, they always DC me.
That's crazy.
Sick
You
of
heard
getting
that here
DC'd.
first with Paddy the Yank. Let's
Yep.
see if that's a fucking thing
It'll
in 10,
take on.
20 fucking
It'll
years'
take on.
time.
He
You know what I
dream
mean?
cheated on me.
But that's pretty insane. So you'd be able to like renting a movie or like watching a movie on Netflix. You could be like, right, tonight I'm going to dream about this. And
Because
like,
these devices, because Neuralink will be in our brain, right? And at one point, everybody's going to have it because of all the diseases it can cure, like Alzheimer's. Like right now, it can only cure a few things, but as time goes on, it's going to be able to cure more and more things. And the essential goal of science and technology is to make people live forever. And it's like, should we really be having more babies when scientists are trying to make us immortal?
or that fucking chip is going to get advanced and it's only going to be for the super rich that know this world won't be able to sustain the amount of life that we have on it right now. And then what they do is they all become immune to every disease and stuff like that, and then they release all these fucking diseases and all those different things on the regular public, and everyone dies out except the elite.
No. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
That's just a crazy theory, but that's
Let me tell you what's going to happen. First, they are getting ready to go to, I think they're fucking already on Mars. Or they're about to start setting up factories.
Send more of them there.
They're about to send
all of them.
They're going to build a station on the moon that starts building aircrafts, and they're sending scientists to Mars to build factories that can start producing air and water, because they want to terraform Mars, which means they want to release CO2 into the atmosphere so they can melt the ice, which will then release oxygen into the atmosphere, because right now the oxygen level is only like 38%, I believe.
That's crazy. And you know what else?
What?
This podcast is about talking about the past year that just passed.
Yeah.
And we're now talking about the future.
Well, I mean, come on.
You see
when
the
New
transition
Year's,
there, ladies and gentlemen?
For me, for New Year's, makes me think about
Makes
the
you think about
future.
future, yeah.
What's coming?
Yeah.
What's coming for me? What's coming for the world?
Reminiscing on the past.
Also
and
that.
So, well, like you
What
said.
did I do poorly last year that I can improve next year?
Yeah. Reminiscent about the past and hopeful or optimistic about the future.
Yeah. But let me go back to Neuralink for a second. Let me go back to Neuralink. This is what's going to happen. The same thing is going to happen with Neuralink that happens with all technology. Technology gets more advanced and then more advanced and then more advanced until eventually the first version of whatever it was becomes cheap and old.
Yeah.
And then even poor people can afford it.
Yeah.
It's like Teslas. Eventually there's going to be cheap electric cars available, and anybody can purchase them. It's already getting to that point with like hybrids and stuff like that. iPhones, right? People can now afford, even poorer people can afford older iPhones.
Yeah.
Bluetooth headphones used to all be very expensive. Now there's all kinds that are very, very affordable.
Yep.
Neuralink is going to lose the patent. Other companies are going to start producing their own form of Neuralink. There will be a cheaper form of Neuralink available to all people.
You're aware that a lot of people have to suffer and die in order to make these things cheap and available to us in the West, right?
Yeah, mostly
Like,
because
so-
of cobalt. Because of cobalt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know about cobalt?
Yeah, of course. That's what
I'm not justifying it.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
saying
no.
it's right. I'm
But
telling you
that's
this is what's going to happen.
Do I know about cobalt? That's exactly what I'm thinking about as you're saying all that.
Yeah.
Is that, okay, yeah, great, we get to make all these things cheap for ourselves over here in this Western world, and that while in Africa these kids are mining to get this.
You listen to that
stuff.
podcast?
No, I don't know. What podcast?
Okay, fill in our listeners, because I don't know if anybody knows what we're talking about.
Okay, well, in order to run your laptop, in order to run your mobile phone, smartphone, which almost everybody has right now, you need a what's it called? You need something called cobalt.
You need lithium-ion batteries, and
Yes.
lithium-ion
Yeah,
batteries
exactly.
are produced using cobalt.
Yep, and cobalt is found in places like Africa, right? And it's deep underground, from my knowledge. And in order to get this, young kids go down into the mines to get it.
Like 11,000.
And
I
they
don't know, I
die,
heard some crazy
dying
numbers
like
like
crazy.
Yeah.
So in order for that to make it cheap for us over here in the Western world to
Yeah.
own these phones, because without that and without these things, phones would be crazy expensive. You wouldn't be able to afford a phone.
And this is the thing. Elon Musk is trying to make solar panels, which
Yeah.
is great because we're getting solar power. But where do we store the solar power?
Yeah.
We store the solar power in lithium-ion batteries. What do we need to make lithium-ion batteries? Cobalt.
There you go.
Where's the only place you can get cobalt? The Congo. There is no sustainably or I don't know what you call it. There's no morally sustainably sourced cobalt. There's none.
Yeah.
I believe.
And it's cheap labor. It's cheap labor. It's slave labor.
Yeah.
Is what it is. So slave labor is powering the phone you have there right now.
Everybody already
powering
knows
the laptop
that
you have.
iPhones are made in sweatshops in China by children, and nobody fucking cares because they don't see it. It's like people that eat meat. factory farmed meat,
Yeah.
but they don't see what a
suffering.
factory looks like.
When you don't see the suffering and you're far removed from the suffering, it makes the pleasure of what you've got as a result of that suffering.
Joe Rogan,
easier
you need to make a fucking change, man. You need to inspire the fucking world to step away from cobalt and talk to fucking Elon Musk and figure out how can we move away from cobalt. Child slavery
He don't
or something.
he's not going to ask any hard, difficult
He
questions.
just interviewed somebody who was a cobalt expert, and that's all they talked about. Was that. I thought that's why you brought it up.
No, I'm saying Joe Rogan won't hard press somebody like fucking what's his name, Elon Musk.
But I think when he becomes mindful
questions
about something,
like that,
he does try to address it.
I'd like to see him do that.
And
instead of just kissing ass and smoking joints and doing whatever the fuck else. Oh, I'm so amazed with everything you do. You're so amazing.
Yeah.
Doesn't ask any of them questions, but whatever.
So
Anyways.
I think all the rich people with the Neuralink chips will go to Mars. And then I think people here will be left with like cheaper versions that are not as good or as advanced as the Neuralink chips.
Well, we're either going to get rid of a lot of assholes or we're going to end up stuck with a lot of assholes.
Yeah.
Like
And then in the year
what
3000,
percentage of assholes went to Mars and what percentage stayed here on planet Earth?
when do you think they'll film their first movie on the moon?
Never even thought about it.
Yeah. I watched this cool time-lapse video.
Hopefully soon, because the movies that they're filming on this Earth at the moment are fucking
predict,
shit!
They predict that by
Marvel,
2050...
Fucking, what's the
They
DC?
predict that by 2050, the first movie will be filmed on the moon.
Good to know.
Fuck off.
Will I be alive then?
Yeah, if not, you did something wrong.
All right, I'm going to read maybe
you got trampled by an elephant.
I'm going to read one more of these and then we'll cut it off because we're going on a bit long here today, I think. But hey, this is a fucking New Year's special, right? So, okay, a $1.5 million prototype floating home toppled into the water at its unveiling ceremony. Some of these are funny. Not for the guy who owned this house, I guess. The Panama-based company Ocean Builders wants to help humanity move from the land to the sea, and their flagship product, the Sea Pod, seemed poised to do so. Here again we go, future technology shit. But despite impressive design and innovative technology, it seems as if the dream must be put on hold a bit longer while Ocean Builders iron out the kinks, or at the very least makes a Sea Pod prototype that doesn't topple into the water. So that's just fucking funny already. They made this fucking sea home for 1.5 million. It's like, we're gonna be able to live on the water. And it's like the first day they fucking unveil it fucking sinks. It's like, yeah, I don't think, hey Margie, all that money we invested in these sea pod homes, I think we'll stay on the land right now. So unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. When the company unveiled a $1.5 million prototype, this company must have just bombed now. It's probably lost all fucking value in stock and everything. So, yeah, when the company unveiled a $1.5 million prototype of its futuristic luxury home back in September in front of a live audience that included Panama's president, Laurentino Cortizo. His ancestors probably brutally murdered and raped all the locals. Anyways, luckily no one was hurt during the incident, and Ocean Builders quickly identified the problem. A bilge pump malfunction that threw off the balance of a steel spar, causing the prototype to flood. Initial reports also alleged that the Sea Pod model had crashed, which the company refuted along with claims, of course they did, that it sank into the ocean. Still, if you're thinking about purchasing a home that's floating out in the middle of the sea, a pump malfunction causing it to tip over may be a deal breaker.
I would not want that. I would not want to live on the ocean. I'm too scared of drowning.
That'd be weird.
Too scared of drowning.
I wouldn't want it either. I would like to live beside the ocean somewhere before, the flooding happens.
So, what are your New Year's resolutions?
Haven't thought about it. Won't think about it till just before midnight tonight.
Really?
No.
So you're going to make some?
Well, like I said before, I don't necessarily be like, okay, this year I want to be a better person. I want to go to the gym and I want to get in shape. I want to stop eating so much cake. I want to be kinder to my parents. People fucking, like I said before to you and fucking Jerome over here before, is
Jerome. Jerome. Jeremy.
When Jerome was in the studio last time.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell me more about Jerome.
The last time me, you, and Jerome had a fucking conversation. Okay. We talked about New Year's resolutions and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what? I always, just before midnight, reflect on my year that's passed, and I think to myself, what did I do? Did I do anything worthwhile? Did I do anything at all worthwhile or, valued or whatever? And I think to myself then for a moment, and then after that moment I forgot, and I moved on with my night and go to sleep.
Did you?
Did I what?
Did you do anything worthwhile this year?
Well, I done a couple of cool things. Like this year, I got a part in a video game where I had to put on a fucking motion capture suit and fucking do 3 intense days of there was a robot on the screen that will be in the game. I think it's a sequence for a video game, like an online video game, whatever the fuck it is, like PC shit. And that was a new experience. That was pretty intense. So I look back on that and be like, man, I'm glad I followed through with that, because I was
proud
nervous.
of yourself.
In one way for that, yeah. I mean, some ways I'm not proud of how I worked around other people, because sometimes I'm very like, let's get it done. Come on, to fuck, like, what's all the fucking talking and hanging around for?
You do that to me.
Yeah, I'm just when we're doing something creative, I'm doing something like filming or doing anything like that. It's like, and I know what needs to be done. I want to get it done. I want to get it done right and do it efficiently. You know what I mean? It's just the way I work.
It's kind of intense, though.
It is intense. And I
wonder if we could Marley it a little bit.
One of the guys, after we wrapped up shooting, and one of the directors came over and said, "Oh, thanks," and that. I said, "Oh, hey, sorry for being a bit direct and blunt at times and stuff like that." I said, "But that's how I work. That's the way I do it."
That's how you talk to them?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck who it is. It doesn't make a difference. I'm not being rude, but it's like, I know what needs to be done.
It's just so funny because you're working for them, but you're talking to them like that. That's hilarious.
I'm just talking to them on the level. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
Just
it's funny.
being real.
You got to have balls to do that.
Hey, fuck
I don't know if I'd have balls to do that. That's what you should do, though. You were being assertive.
Yeah.
Because you're being professional.
Yeah.
And these are very, very good qualities.
Yeah. Like, saying
not
this,
everybody has them.
Saying this now and hearing this now from me, who didn't even finish school. Like, I didn't get a leaving cert from my school in Ireland. Like, to think that that's how I work now in certain situations, I think I'm kind of proud of that.
Right.
In school, I was a
you
terror.
Didn't finish school,
I was
but you
a
have
terror.
Such...
I was fucking suspended all the time. Teachers would always told me I would amount to nothing or do nothing, and it was like I was a messer and stuff like that. But I knew there was things that if I liked to do them or I was passionate about them, I could, act like that. I could be very, very punctual. I could be very, very driven and dedicated to doing these things. So that's why I think school doesn't work for a lot of people. It just doesn't, because there's people that just aren't cut out for school. There's people that aren't cut out for a 9 to 5. If you said somebody you're not cut out for a 9 to 5, they would just think, oh, well, you're just a lazy fucker. No. I'm cut out for a different world. Maybe it's a world of creating something or doing something like that, and you can make a living from that. It's still work. You know what I mean? So that's it. I done a fucking video game, and a movie came out this year I was in. Whatever. That's cool. I mean, I heard
cool.
The movie wasn't that good. I went to see it, but I didn't understand
Fuck
it.
You're still in a movie, though.
In a movie. So when I
look
look back
somewhere.
When I look back in last year, they're probably two of the things I think about. Of being okay, that was cool. I don't know. That's it. That's looking back in last year. That's it. And for the future, for the new year, I don't know. As corny as it does sound, try to be a better person. Try to be more caring, have more empathy. And I got a few other goals I have in mind that are secrets that I, like projects that I'm going to work on. I'm like, right, I want to do this. Like I've often said to myself, at New Year, I say this almost every New Year. Since I started boxing, which was fucking back in 2012, I say, next year, I'm learning a new martial art. Like, next year, I'm learning a new martial art. I'm going to get good at a new martial art. And I've never done it. I've never done that. And I said that since 2012. So that's one thing I've never, I haven't, joined up as a BJJ and stuck to it and done it and got good at it.
You must be procrastinating it for a reason, whether subconsciously or consciously.
I don't know. So that's it. For the future, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'll add in, get good at a new martial art. What about yourself, Yank?
What?
You look back in your past year, are you proud of much stuff?
I wrote that book. And
Indeed,
I'm trying
to
fucking hire. I mean, it's finished. I'm just trying to hire the editor.
Okay, yeah, I released a book too. Shit, that's one thing. Whatever. Fuck it, go yours. This is your time.
Oh shit. That's it. Well, I mean, it's not published, but it's. I had a big hurdle at the end.
Yep.
A few big hurdles. Basically, just hiring the editor was a difficult process.
Yes.
And I had to interview people, and it was weird. Never did that before. Then I finally found someone. Was ready to hire her, and then because I'm in Taiwan and there's a limit on how much you can spend, I don't know. I had to get another card.
Yeah.
But little stupid technical shit. But I'm trying to get it done. I'm very confident it'll be published in the next 2 months.
Looking forward to
She said it'll be finished being edited in 2 weeks.
Unreal.
So I'll give it to her in 1 week, and
Yeah.
then 2 weeks after that it'll be finished being edited, and then I will approach publishing companies or whatever.
Man.
Or hire an agent.
Can I read it before you give it to the publisher? Because, I mean, the publisher's just going to publish it. It's already been edited. It's already
because you want to steal my book? Tell me the fucking truth. I know what you're up to. You want to take it and make a fucking screenplay into it. Make it into a screenplay.
I would definitely, once I've read it, if I like it enough, I'll definitely write the screenplay of it, because you've already told me about it, and I'd be like, yeah, I would fucking love to do that.
I'm about to start the second one, now, tomorrow.
Look at that. There ain't no procrastination here with the Yank.
I want to get this. I want to get this new year started on the right note. And this past year, I think just boxing and making yoga a habit was huge because that's something I've been like trying to do for years, and I hate doing it, but I know I need to do it. My mom was a yoga teacher, and I'm just like, I fucking hate yoga. I don't need to do yoga, blah, 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 blah. I just train hard at the gym. And it's like, I feel like I'm already pretty strong, but one thing I'm not is flexible and constantly in pain. And so I made yoga a fucking habit. And I've been doing a lot of yoga, and I want to keep that going.
So the book and the yoga.
Yeah, and then boxing. I feel like I did my best sparring this past year.
Yeah.
And I think I got my cardio good, and I got
better.
my technique good. Yeah, obviously not perfect, but like
when you're sticking to what you want to do, and you're sticking to what you want to learn, which is good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have the aspiration every year. It's like I'm going to learn a new martial art, and I haven't done it. But you've literally this last year been continuing to learn boxing.
Yeah.
So that's great. You know what I mean? What about your future? Do you do a future resolute like this year I want to fucking climb Mount Everest, or this year I'm going to fucking do whatever the hell it is?
This year I plan to go home and see my family.
This is the final question of the podcast, and then we're out.
So this year I'm going to publish that book. That book will get published. I will start another book.
Brilliant.
I will keep boxing harder and injury-proof my fucking body. Do as much yoga as I have to.
Yeah.
And that's it. Keep writing. Keep training. Go to see my family.
Cool. So you're going to go back to America this year for a visit?
In the summertime. I need to come see my mama,
Unreal.
my daddy, and everybody. I need to go see everybody back home.
Wow. That sounds like a good new year you have ahead.
It's been 4 years, so it's time. It's time.
You know what? And it's also time to cut this podcast off there. That was just pretty much a freestyle ramble there from me and the Yank. We hope you enjoyed it.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to everybody. We hope you have a good one. And you know what? Chase your dreams. Chase your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that your dreams are stupid, because, you know, everybody's dreams are their own dreams. And don't be afraid to fail. All right. As promised, today we have music again, and it's from our man Sam Hockaday over in England, and this is his new single. You can find it on Spotify and all other platforms, and this is called Who Do You Think You Are by Sam Hockaday. Have a fantastic New Year, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Happy New Year.
I grew up by the factory. I was lost in my daydreams, making plans to escape the town that always pulled me back to the ground, saying, who do you think you are? Dreaming's for the lost and for the flawed. Don't be scared by those terrified of your dreams and of your light. They have long since forgot themselves. You shine a light upon empty shelves, saying, who do you think you are? Dreaming's for the lost and for the flawed. It's in the dead of the night that the thinking gets too hard to take. I feel the thump of my heart in my head. I can no longer wait. When I get back to the promised land, gonna do the things that I said I can. Throw off the shackles of the working man. But who do you for the lost and for